Welcome back to video tutorial section 2003, Unit 8. Today we're going to continue working with, basically is day 5 of the video tutorials, okay? And just like I said before in the webinars, okay? Practice, 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 that's what's going to make it the best out of us, okay? Today we're going to continue creating formulas. Okay, we are going to insert a function, type a function, and then copy cell, move cell entries. We're going to understand relative and absolute cell references. Okay, and we're going to try to do two different exercises on this day. Okay, today we're going to be working with this file, open file exa2 under unit 8. Okay, I'm going to get this out of the way. Here's my folder. Okay, but remember that. I need you guys to get used to right click into the file explorer and open your Excel 2013 student files, because that's how you guys are going to open those files, okay, during the webinar. If the window was into full screen, resize it. Just drag it from the tab, see, from the title bar. Left click, hold, and drag, and the window's gonna resize. We can move it anywhere we want from there. Left click, hold, and drag. Okay. Here's Unit A. We double click on Unit A, and now we're gonna open EXA2, and we're gonna double click into that. Okay. Perfect. So this is our file, okay, average annual weather statistics, okay. So let's go ahead and use file, save as. The copy is going to be under my computer, and it's going to go under, let's see, where's my Word files. Okay, I don't see the shortcut here. So I'm going to click on my documents, and then Excel 2013 files. Okay, so that's where it's going to go. Now, the file name. Okay, file name is going to be, okay, average weather. Just average. Let's just go ahead and leave it as average, okay? Remember, I'm gonna be asking you guys, please use, okay, the date. In my case, I'm gonna be using the date, April 22, 2013, okay? And then I'm still missing one more step here. I haven't opened this folder. Okay, so I'm gonna open the folder. Here's my file name, and then I'm gonna click on save. There you go. Okay, well, we make a copy because you guys are gonna practice with the same file. Okay, on any of these files that you guys open up, there's always gonna be one example. Okay, in this case here we have the average annual weather statistics. Okay, that's the title bar. We had some labels for the city of Boston, Chicago, Denver, Orlando, Phoenix, Santa Fe. We have a label that is asking for a total here, right? And then right here on column E, on cell A4, we have the altitude, high temperature, low temperature, rain, snow, and then it's asking for average temp. Okay, so let's go ahead and start working with this one. Okay, now we're gonna create a formula here because we're gonna practice what we learned in the past tutorials. Okay, now right here it's asking for a total. Okay, so when I have the total of every single city for the altitude here. Okay, so remember, first of all, I'm gonna use the click method. I'm gonna use my equals. We always begin with equal, and then clicking to cell before, apply my denominator plus C4 plus D4 plus B4 plus F4 plus E4. At the end, we don't add another plus. Okay, so there's my formula, and then I hit enter, and there's my total. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and use the other method. Okay, I'm gonna type in a function. So I'm gonna type in equals sum, because sum is my function. I'm gonna open the parentheses, and then I'm gonna be selecting the range that I wanna use on my total here, which is gonna be range B5 through G5. Okay, so there's my formula. Okay, I'm gonna close the parentheses and then I hit enter. and there's my total for the high temperatures. Okay. Um, Now I'm gonna use another method. Okay, I'm gonna be using the Autosum. I'm gonna go ahead and select the cells. There's two ways to do this. Okay, I'm gonna select the cells that I want to use for the total. And under the Autosum, see, when I click into the down arrow, I have the sum function. When I click into that, just like that, now my total is there. Okay, now let's go ahead and check the formula. Click into that, and the formula is very similar to the one above, except for the other one. Okay, now in this case, I'm gonna use the typing method equals, okay, B7 plus C7 plus D7 plus E7 plus F7 plus D7, and is that it? Okay, and then I must hit enter, and there's my total. Okay, so there's a difference between one and the other. Okay, now let me go ahead and do this using the Autosum function. Okay, there's no by inches. Now, if I come up here and I just click directly into the Autosum, okay, Excel is trying to just add, see, it's giving me the function equals sum, but it's only selecting the cell above, H7. Okay, be very careful when you guys use this method, when you guys click into a cell and then use your Autosum, because Excel most of the time is going to be selecting the incorrect cells. Okay, so I'm into the edit mode. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to left click on B8, I'm going to hold it down, and then I'm going to drag my mouse, my pointer over the range that I want to use. So there's my formula, equals from B8 to G8. When I hit enter, there's my total. Okay, and just remember, like on the other tutorial, when you guys get this little green icon, we click into the cell, there's a yellow diamond. Inconsistent formula. The formula is correct. Okay, now I'm gonna click up here. Formula is correct. Okay, it's just that, remember that Excel, see, is gonna, it thinks that, see, we pretty much are gonna act like robots. That we begin one pattern, that it wants us to continue the same pattern. In other words, to use exactly the same formula that we use above. Okay, so in this case, the formula is not inconsistent, it's not incorrect. So I'm just gonna select no error. Okay, and then what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and click on save. Okay, now, so we create a formula, we insert a function, we type in the function. Okay, and I'm gonna copy and move cells. Well, basically this is what I'm gonna do. Okay, in Excel, like in any other Windows programs, okay, we have the traditional commands. See, cut, copy and paste. Okay, now right here I have average. Let's say that I need to move that. I'm gonna use cut. See, every time that we use cut, these wavy lines are gonna start dancing around. I select the new location and I click on paste. If I want to move the other one, I'm going to use cut. There's my wavy lines. Select the destination and paste. Okay. Now what I did that because I want to get another label here, another total label here. Okay. Now it probably is not going to make too much sense, right? You know, getting the Boston altitude, high temperature and low temperature, and rain and snow, right? Totals. Okay, so we are not gonna be using all the cells. Okay, in this case I'm gonna say, okay, I wanna the total, let me see, okay, altitude, yeah, let's go ahead and just get the totals here. Okay, so that we can see the other function. Okay, now in this particular function, okay, again, I'm gonna go ahead and use, I'm gonna type in the function, okay, equals sum. In this case I wanna add, I'm gonna select my cells, close my parentheses here. Okay, if I click into the cell and I want to use the Autosum, okay, Excel is, in this case, see, is selecting the correct cells, C4 through C9. Now C9 is empty, so I don't want to include C9. Okay, so I'm just gonna left click, hold and drag, left click on C4 down to C8, and then I'm gonna hit enter, and there's my total. Okay. Now again, right here is gonna be typing. Okay, equals sum parentheses and select my range, close the parentheses, enter. Okay, and again I'm gonna be using the Autosum and see what happened. Okay, in this case, the Autosum is selecting B10, C10, and D10. So what I'm gonna do, as long as I have the wavelengths going around and B10 through D10 still highlighted, I'm gonna bring my pointer up here and select the correct cells, and then I'm gonna hit enter. Okay, then again, equals sum parentheses, select my range, enter. Now I'm gonna use the arrow sum. Again, it's doing the same. I'm gonna select the cells that I want, and then enter. And there we go. There we have our totals. Okay. Now, right here we have another label. This label is asking for average temperature. Okay. Most of the times you guys are gonna have on all the samples that you guys open up, you guys are gonna see. Okay. One sample. Okay. So let's go ahead and type in another formula. Another formula or function. Okay. Very popular that is used into Excel is the average function. Okay, in this case we want to find out the average temperature. So if I click into the cell and I click up here into the formula bar, okay, there's my function equals average B4 through B9. Okay, now in this case that particular formula is going to be incorrect. Okay, not exactly the formula but the range that is being used. Remember, the labels are the ones that are telling us, okay, what are we supposed to get in that particular cell. In this case, it says average temperature. See, we're using all the cells to get the. We are including the altitude, high temperature, low temperature, rain inches, snow by inches. We don't wanna use anything else other than high temperature and low temperature. So how are we gonna fix this? The function is correct, average. Now I'm gonna click up here into the formula bar. Using the arrows on my keyboard, I'm gonna bring my pointer inside. I'm gonna go ahead and delete that using backspace. And I'm only gonna be selecting these two cells, B5 through B6. Those belongs only to the temperature. Okay? Now, now that I'm modifying this, okay, this formula, all I need to do is just hit enter. And now I'm getting the correct average temperature. And again, see the little green icon is gonna pop out when I select the cell. This yellow diamond is gonna come up. Okay, formula. See now this. Look at this. Look at this message here from Excel. See, formula omits adjacent cells. Okay, so if I double click into the cell, see, we are omitting B4, B7, and B8. So basically, that's what Excel is thinking. That we see that we're probably making a mistake. Okay. So again, I'm gonna click into the yellow diamond and select ignore error. There's no error. Remember, there's no errors. Okay. Click on save every 5 minutes. Okay. Now again, right here, I wanna get my formula. I mean, my average for the temperature. Okay. So I'm gonna type in the function equals average. I'm gonna open my parentheses and then I'm gonna be selecting C5 and C6. These are the only tools, okay, that I need in this case. Close my parentheses and hit enter. Okay, 49.5, and again, okay, formula omits adjacent cells. Okay, just gonna leave it for right now on for now. Okay, and then again, I'm gonna type in my function. Okay, average, open parentheses. I'm gonna select the two cells that belongs only to high and low temperature, and I'm gonna hit enter. The formula is correct. Okay, now let's go ahead and use the other method. Okay, here's my cell. If I go to the arrow sum and I click into the down arrow, I'm going to have a average. Okay, now when I click into average, the Excel is going to be selecting only E10. So from here, okay, you like look into the formal, I mean into the status bar. We have the status in point mode. What it means that I need to bring my pointer left click, hold and drag, and select the cells that I'm going to use for my average, and then enter. Okay, and then again, I'm going to use the Autosum, click on average. I'm going to select the two cells that I'm using for the average and hit enter. And I still have one more. Okay, so here's my Autosum average. I'm going to use the two cells for the high temperature and the low temperature, and then I'm going to hit enter, and that's going to give me an average. Okay, now right here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 5 cells. Okay, so all these 5 cells are giving me the little green icon with the yellow diamond. Okay, now we could get rid of them. Okay, all of them. Now let me just look into the message. Okay, see omit suggested cell. I'm gonna click into the other one, same message. Okay, so I'm gonna highlight all of them. I'm gonna click into the yellow diamond and I'm gonna click on ignore. Okay, so we could apply the same settings to multiple cells and then click on save. Okay, let's see. Okay, so that was my average. Okay, now let's say that okay, just remember, okay, if I have this other average, we could always cut and paste into another location. If you guys just want to use the drag and drop option, okay, feature, when you point it into the cell, when we have the four-way arrow, left click, hold, and drag into a new location, and then release. Okay, so I'm gonna move this over here. There it is. And we can also do that with multiple cells. Okay, look, right now I'm gonna select from A1 through H12. That's so that I need to move all this data. I'm gonna bring my pointer into the boundaries. When I see the four-way arrow, I'm gonna left click, hold, and then I'm gonna drag it over. See, all the data is being moved. Okay, if I wanna bring it back, okay, I could just do it the same way. I'm gonna bring it to the A1, and there we go. Okay, and this green icons, okay, they're gonna keep coming up. Okay, just go ahead and select ignore error. We know that there's no error, and there we are. Okay, so this is the average function, okay, which is another function used very often on Excel. Okay, so we got the totals. Okay, you've seen. Okay, applying, typing in our formula using the click method, and then we type in the function, and then we also use the arrow sum. Okay, and then we also get the totals using, see, typing in my function. Okay, and then we also use the average, okay, by typing in the function and by clicking into the function up here under the arrow sum. Okay, so this is exercise 1 of day 5. Okay, once I'm done, I'm gonna go ahead and click on file. Okay, well, we already click on save. I'm just gonna go to the top right corner and click on exit. Okay, and there we go. So that's exercise 5.1. Okay, on this day we're gonna continue working on another. We're gonna be doing another practice file. Thank you. Until next video tutorial. Bye bye.